Dana.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. So good to have you here today.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All right, so you are actively now. Are you still? Yes, you're still at Dogtopia.
I'm not anymore. So my official last day was on December 30th. So that is an update that I need to put in there, is that I'm no longer, I did end with them.
Okay.
So one of my main questions, and Brenda, I'm so glad you're here to answer this question. Because when I look at a resume that is kind of split like this, like I'm just so ADHD
Yeah.
I tend to not, I just can't handle it. but
Yeah.
but that's me.
Well, you have something in common with applicant tracking software.
I knew it.
Yeah. So especially Dana, if you are planning to submit your resume to any, fair sized company, even a small to medium-ish company, the computer, if there is a computer reading your resume, it's gonna go haywire. Will not know how to read this. So yeah.
Which is why I had asked that question, because when I was back in college, somebody had told me, I had a professor that told me that it needed to be all on one page. So I had a feeling that this was like very crammed and into one space, which is why I had asked if it was okay to kind of spread it out to 2 pages.
Well, you could probably get all this information onto one page without doing what you did.
Oh, okay.
That's my take. Also, did you listen to were you here when we were talking about objectives? Objectives?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yes. And I've already went in and I'm going to change it to summary and rework that whole thing. Yeah.
Okay. One thing, such a common spelling error. The past tense of lead is led, L-E-D. It's like the most common error that I find on resumes.
Right here.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's lead present tense.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
But the next one.
That's going to pass though with the.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone, look for the word past tense of, lead. Look for lead, and should it be led? I can't tell you. It's on like half the resumes I ever see.
Okay. Yeah. Good to know.
Yeah. So you have lots of company.
I'm curious, what kind of job are you looking for? It's hard for me to tell from your.
Yeah, so I've had kind of a very sporadic career and didn't have a really so my last job that I just left was my first kind of job that gave me some real actual working experience apart from part-time work. So I'm looking right now to do marketing, social media, but also I'm interested in HR and recruiting positions as well.
Okay. So remember what we said at the beginning of this call. You want to keep in mind what it is you're going toward. The resume is looking at what's the future you want to create. And then what your content needs to reflect that sort of thing.
Right.
Clearly. So at this point, you're going to need to look at what aspects of this in terms of the marketing and customer relations is good for your marketing component. So that one's got at least the connection that you're wanting, but you want to keep that, you want to think of the person who's in the job that you're going to be hiring for. How are they going to read this? And are they going to see you as somebody who's ready or somebody that they're going to have to do a lot of training on? Now, you're also new out of school, right?
Yeah, within the last year or so, yes.
Yeah,
I graduated in the end of 2019.
So part of what you also want to be able to convey in your resume, but also in your interview is, your ability to learn quickly and your eagerness to do that and your skill set and demonstrated examples of doing that. So if you can demonstrate quick learning in any of these positions, getting up to speed quickly on, how quickly you were able to get into the job and produce results would be a significant thing to have in there somewhere. So people think of, okay, she's new. What's her broad skill set? Because they're not expecting a long list of resume skills at that point necessarily, but let's get a sense of is this someone we can expect to get up to speed soon and quickly? And your 3 areas should be somehow reflected in this resume to the extent
Okay.
possible. Or if not, to be actively doing something in your life right now while you're in the job search that reflects one of your strongest interests. So you have a talking point of what it is you're currently doing that's related to what you're wanting to move toward in the HR area or marketing or whatever else it wants. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and you have the experience in marketing. So
Mhm.
if that's one of your interests, writing a marketing resume probably wouldn't be that far fetched, right? To do that.
Yeah.
You want to really expand on what you have at Dogtopia, and you don't probably need everything about the details of your 3-month discovery day camp job, right?
Okay.
It's not going to be important for getting your next job. So
Okay.
for HR, I think if you're interested in HR, start talking to people who are in HR. Use your networks, talk to people.
Yeah.
What's it like? What do I need to do? Because you might need to get a certification, a little more education if you're really interested in HR, but really find out what it really is about before you decide to go into it. Because it might not be what you think it is.
Yeah. Yes.
And along those lines, you can find out it's been a while since I've been in the HR space. I did work in there for about 10 years, but whatever the association is in your area, an HR related association where you can go in and do some volunteer work and start learning about it and talking to people. So you start getting into the world and learning a little bit
Okay.
more.